have some very exciting news for you this week. Starting next Tuesday, July the 13th, we'll be open for some in-library services.
We are so excited to welcome you back, but there are a few things you need to know.
So masks will still be required for staff and patrons at all times. We are limiting our capacity, and so if you find the door locked, please be patient and wait outside, socially distancing all the time. Visits will be limited to 30 minutes. So whether you're browsing or on the computer, 30 minutes is the limits for individuals. And that will make everybody's time here as smooth as possible and accommodate as many people as we can. And I forgot when we were talking about this that we're still going to be offering our curbside services because we know some of you really valued those.
While you'll be able to browse for your own books next week, we have a couple of recommendations for great reads to scoop up for this week.
That's so exciting that we're going to be back seeing all our friends and patrons on Tuesday, but also that we're keeping up with our curbside delivery. So here's a book I might suggest for curbside pickup. Put a hold on this one. It's called Blush by Jamie Brenner. And it talks about 3 generations of women who've been somewhat marginalized. And it revolves around the Hollander wine estate. And of course, back for 3 generations back, wine has been, a vintner was generally seen as a male occupation. But now look at the famous and wonderful women who are becoming experts in this field and highly respected. So it does revolve around the Hollander estate, which is on the verge of bankruptcy under Leonard, the patriarch of the family. And he won't let his wife or his daughter give him any suggestions on how they could turn things around. He refuses to develop a rosé wine. He's stuck in the cabs and the Chardonnays that were always traditionally their estate wines. But when they come so close to losing the estate and to a rather unscrupulous person, and a lot of dark secrets are involved, he does finally allow Leah, the daughter, to take over. She's been successful in a business, even though she was shoved out of the vineyard business. She's been successful in her own cheese shop business. And then she decides that she's got some ideas. She starts book clubs for women who come and have a meal and wine and talk about books. And this is exceedingly successful because then they buy the wines. And she does override her dad in certain ways. And they develop the first rosé, which is an instant hit and seller. It's a delightful little book. Adriana Trignini, who I also like, writes in a similar vein, and she highly recommends this book. So for a good summer read and a really good story, put a hold on Blush.
This week I listened to Michael Punk's latest book called Ridgeline. And what I really love about his writing style is you can tell that he did his research before writing this novel. And his efforts don't go unrecognized in the depth of the characters and the setting, which in this book is the Powder River Valley in Wyoming. In Ridgeline, we meet an old friend, Jim Bridger, who we met in The Revenant, and he's a much older man doing some scouting for the U.S. Army as they try to expand their interests into the West. This brings them into conflict with the First Nations populations in the Wyoming Powder River Valley, leading up to the ultimate battle called the 100 in the Hand. We meet characters from dissatisfied army wives to First Nations chiefs and their warriors to ill-equipped and bloodthirsty soldiers. And because the story is told from these alternating perspectives, it's really done so in a masterful way, I'd say especially when you listen to the audiobook. We want to thank everyone for participating in another one of our virtual programs. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.